Rough Edge FM. Irritatingly irresistible internet radio at roughedgefm.com.
The art of magic is mystery, majesty, pageantry, and craft. It's also about history, marketing, networking, and more. All of these topics and others are discussed on Magic Talk with your hosts, renowned magician James Lantine and owner of the White Rabbit Magic Shop, Joshua Lantine. Now on Rough Edge FM.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. My name is James Lantine, and I am joined with Joshua. Pay no attention to the man behind the mask.
My God, this stuff they keep coming up with. Oh, sorry, are we on?
Oh, yes. Is this the stuff that's about to be released?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So anyways, welcome to Magic Top. This is our April 3rd show. We are doing it on April 6th. This is not an April Fool's joke.
No. We're a couple days too late for that one.
Yeah, we are a couple days too late. By the way, somebody sent me an April Fool's joke on April 1st that said it was a video that said, world's greatest magic. And you click on it, and you click on it, and you click on it, and then you click on it, and then you realize, oh, good God.
They just keep sending you to the same.
It never did anything. It was just a picture with a play button on it. But anyways, we are here. I've been a little under the weather. That's why we're doing our show late. But better late than never. This is a show we've been wanting to do because today, if you remember last show, by the way, last show had gotten one of the highest views in total.
Really?
Of all of our shows.
Really?
Yeah.
The one about
magicians dying.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a message.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that one.
I know. It's kind of like, okay, are people saying...
although
it is magicians who are watching or listening mostly, so I would say that we're pretty safe.
Okay.
All right.
Well, thank God.
Yeah.
Don't do those tricks unless they are absolutely foolproof. Please, I don't want to hear any more of those stories.
Yes. Don't get added to the list.
Yeah.
So anyways, today we are going to be taking a look at two or three magicians as to how they got their start. Because some of the times I always wonder, it's like, what gave somebody a lucky break? Because obviously everybody starts out like everybody.
I would imagine, unless you were born with that silver spoon in your mouth.
Yeah. I mean, very rarely do you come across, a Shin Lim who is proficient at piano and magic and,
But even he had his stardom where it was nothing.
Yeah.
And what happened to him is he got some weird type of superpower after he got carpal tunnel or whatever. They dropped him in a vat of acid or something like that. Because then now he can go and dance circles around anybody with a deck of cards. Yes. I don't get it.
But regardless, so we all kind of start from the same place.
Mm-hmm.
And we're all trying to make our break into the world. And so what made these guys stand apart? Why did they all of a sudden, why did they get the lucky break?
So from the death of a magician to the
life,
birth. Yeah.
Yes.
See?
Yes.
Hey, that's very biblical.
We should have,
because we had Easter.
Done it the other way, though. We should have.
Well, you could have. That would have been
born and then die.
That's a full circle. But the way we're doing it now is very biblical. Because it was Easter, and everybody knows what Easter is about, religiously speaking.
Yes.
So we're going to the second act of the third act of a magician. So
we started with
rebirth.
The fall, and now we're starting with the birth.
Yeah.
Okay. And if my wife is watching, I just want you to notice that's water, not Dr. Pepper. They need to come up with a clear Dr. Pepper.
I actually think they have it.
No, but I mean, make it look like water.
Yeah, I think they've got that.
Really?
I think I
but
clear.
It still tastes like Dr. Pepper.
I wasn't brave enough to try it.
All right.
Because I didn't trust it. I barely like Dr. Pepper as it is. No offense.
I'm gonna have to. I see. She is watching, so I got a very good thumbs up. So before we get into the rise of some of these more famous magicians,
You got a good list on there.
I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about.
I was actually going to ask: are we going further than the big, big names that everybody knows about, the household names, or are we sticking to David Copperfield, Penn and Teller, and
Kind of.
David Blaine? Do we have any others that we can toss into
There are a
hat?
couple. There are a couple others.
Because I mean, there are some that I can think of.
But I'm not going into that right now.
Okay, fine. Let's go into what
So,
you want to do.
What I wanted to go into was I don't know, how many magicians do you think are performing in Vegas? Like right now? Like
10.
Now, if you were just going to make if you were a lay person wondering, who's in Vegas, what would you think?
If I were to go and guess,
like maybe 5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as everybody that I know is in Vegas, 3. But if I were a layperson, if I were to go and say what magic acts are in Vegas, I'd say 3. But if I were to give it a good solid guess, I might say 5, maybe 10.
So there's about 15, and there are some more that could be construed as magic, but there's like at least 15 solid. Yeah, it's like comedy and magic variety shows, that kind of stuff.
So a variety show thing, not a magic show. Because like, you're a comedy magician. What are you talking about?
All right, so here's the list in short. So if you are going to Vegas, I overshot. Oh,
what?
Your mom said that 100.
100?
Yeah, you definitely. I mean, there's probably over 100 magicians in Vegas, but I'm talking about the ones that are actually performing in some sort of a casino.
Well, that I'm going to go and limit to 3.
Yeah. So here we go. Copperfield is at the MGM.
Duh.
Chris Angel is at Planet Hollywood.
He's there now. So he did have a couple of different places he went to, right? He was at Circus for a while, and then at
he kind of bounced around to a few, because he started out at the Luxor.
He started at the Luxor?
That was where he was doing the Cirque du Soleil combination. Okay. We're going to talk a little bit about that one. Shin Lim is at the Mirage. Penn and Teller are at the Rio. Justin Willman is at the Venetian from May 3rd to 4th. So he's not going to be there.
Willman?
Yeah, he's not going to be there very long.
Not Millman? Wait, is it an M or a W?
I think it's Willman.
Oh, I don't know him then.
Okay. David Blaine is at the Wynn through May 2024. Piff the Magic Dragon is at the Flamingo. Matt Franco is at the Ling Hotel, LINQ.
Matt Franco?
Yes.
Okay.
Matt King is at the Excalibur, who, by the way, has said to be one of the best magic shows you could ever see in Vegas. Frederick da Silva is at the Horseshoe. He is a mentalist.
Can I see that one? Frederick da Silva.
Thank you. Jen Kramer, female magician at Westgate Las Vegas Resort. Martinis and Magic is at the Mint Tavern. Murray the Magician is at the Laugh Factory. Nathan Burton is at Planet Hollywood. He does an afternoon show. Jerry McCambridge is at Planet Hollywood. He is a mentalism. Mike Hammer is at Four Queens Hotel. Late Night Magic, which I
can only assume what that means.
Well, that's our friend. Oh my gosh. Julie, who's your friend there as far as the magic is concerned? He performed at our mashup. Mondre, thank you. Oh man, why couldn't I not think of that?
I like Mondre. Mondre's got a good show.
Yeah, Mondre is part of that. See, mom knew. And the Louise Lioz.
What?
Lioz show is at the Orleans, and Gary and Janine Carson are at the Notoriety.
Where's that?
It's
know
I
those
think
ones.
it's in near Fremont Street.
See, Dad's more familiar with Vegas than I am.
You
I
kidding
haven't
me?
gone a whole lot, and in retrospect to you, I'm fresh to the Vegas crowd
Yes.
because I'm only 30. Actually, I'm 31 now.
Yeah.
Damn, that's another year.
So, anyways, there's quite a few magicians that are performing there, and
Obviously, some that people know of more than others.
yeah,
And the magic circles, I'm sure the 5 number that you gave me originally, that's more of a practical number to assume in the magic circle.
well, you figure MGM, Planet Hollywood, Mirage, Rio, Venetian, Wynn, Excalibur. Those are like the top hotels. Everybody knows about those hotels.
And I mean, as far as a magic act is concerned, everybody knows of David Copperfield. I mean, everybody knows of David Copperfield. Everybody knows of Penn and Teller. People now know of Shin Lim, or that he's gaining more notoriety on a lay sense. Because I even noticed when I talk about him to other lay people, they don't quite know who he is. I mean, they might, when you kind of refresh their memory
if you
or
say
so,
AGT or something like that.
yeah, they'll maybe recall something about him, but it's not like he's this big, house name like the other 3.
No, not quite.
Everyone knows of Chris Angel. I mean, he's been around for a while. And then, I mean, maybe if you're a regular at Vegas, you might know of Piff.
Yeah, I think
But all the other ones, it's like you got to be.
Matt Franco's got a kind of a bit of a name.
Yeah, he does.
So
It's
Justin Willman is Magic for Humans.
That's Justin Millman.
Willman.
Where the hell? Justin Willman.
Thank you.
I don't know what the
You're dyslexic.
Yeah.
What can I say?
let's say that.
You reverse the
this,
W.
This turned into this for
Yes.
me.
Okay.
Google never corrected me whenever I typed it in, so I don't know.
So we're gonna go into the rabbit hole before we go into our list of how they got started.
Okay,
I do have a question though.
sure.
What is our intro to down the rabbit hole?
Boy, I feel like it's gonna be can either be mystical or it can sound like.
You know what I was gonna say?
What?
Boing.
Then, look, I found something.
Yeah. That is exactly where I was going. All right, so we are down in the rabbit hole, and this rabbit hole is going to be focusing on
The
split focus.
right here. Now, this I actually really like this one. I am not huge with any coin magic, but this one is a. If you were to think about it as a whole, it's more of a utility, but it has several magic tricks that you can do with it. You can do 3 fly. You can do.
You can use it for a coin matrix.
You could use it for what's the one where you have 1, 2? Is that the 3 fly where you have the coins one at a time vanish?
Yeah.
Okay, then there's the coins across that you can do with it as well. And the utility behind it, I can
It's
say this
incredibly strong.
very. I don't know
So-
if this is revealing too much, but it's magnets that are and the utility of the trick.
Yeah, it might be revealing too much.
Okay, but the construction of it, I'll say this, it is so well done that it's about the smoothest of this type of gimmick that I have ever seen.
Yeah, and the thing that I like about it is the vanish
Yeah,
at the very end.
yeah, they have they give you another special way to vanish the coins and be clean.
Yes. Yeah. And you don't have to worry about anything falling because
No,
I mean this
God,
is
no.
incredibly strong.
Oh yeah, it'll hold.
So it sells for $200, and if I remember correctly, we are out of the Eisenhowers now, are we not?
We just sold one. Are we? Does that mean we're gone?
I don't know.
Go and it should tell you online.
That's what I thought, but I'm not seeing it.
Okay, well then I will do another double check of that one.
Okay.
But it's the whole thing is all self-contained in this. You're getting everything with it.
And you even get a coin purse.
Oh yes, you do. I did not know that one.
Oh,
I forgot. But yeah, you have the coin purse to go along with it. It's one of the not the one with the arm hooks that latch like this. It's one that's a flat one, a flat purse.
I
Does it
don't
show?
know if it kind of shows the back end of it. It doesn't really show
Let me see if I can
the front.
let me take it out real quick so I can show without anything getting too showy. But this is your coin purse right here, and it's the one that has the flap like this. And the nice thing about it is you get a replica gimmick coin too for a pass out.
So let's see the coin purse again.
This one right
there. Okay.
So it's got that particular flap where it's a front closed latch.
Is it not also gimmicked?
This is no, it is just a straight coin purse.
Okay.
But it does give you the replica coin to go along with it. And your gimmick coin remains inside the box, or at least it's inside the box right now.
All right. So this effect sells for $200. And you can get it here at the White Rabbit Magic Shop.
We will let you guys know, or you should be able to go online and see if we have any more of those, the Eisenhowers, because it did come in the two, where it's the Morgan or the Eisenhower, depending on which one you prefer.
Obviously, Morgans are more popular.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. Okay. So
I don't know if that says something about Eisenhower as a president, or if
it's because of the silver coin. Eisenhower is not silver.
It's not silver.
No.
Huh.
No.
What do you know? I thought they made them in silver.
Nope. Just a regular old coin. In fact, if you went to Vegas earlier on, there were millions of Eisenhowers floating around.
Oh, they just,
because that was what was in their dollar slots. So the first magician we're going to take a look at is David Copperfield.
Of course.
And now I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but Copperfield actually started his career as a ventriloquist.
Really?
Yes.
I thought he was an actor.
So he was 8 years old, and he had his very own Jerry Mahoney puppet. And then when he turned 10, that's when he began practicing magic. And his magician name back then was Davino, the boy magician. So
now, Copperfield is not his actual name.
No.
That's his stage name, right?
Yes. Yeah. And
I think you were telling me that it was because of he got the name Copperfield, actually David Copperfield, from a book that he read.
Yes, it was the David Charles Dickinson's book. David Copperfield.
Yeah. And which later turned into a TV drama about 1999, I believe, is when it started. But
yeah, I'm not
started
sure.
as a book. But
so David's real name is David Seth Kotkin. Kotkin.
Yeah.
And so at age 12, he was the youngest person admitted to the Society of American Magicians. He is now, a Life Achievement Society of American Magician honorary, whatever. Now Now, at first, David says that he was shy and a loner, and he saw magic as a way to fit in. And then later, it was a way to meet girls. So,
Okay. So that's why it's popular with him.
I don't get it personally because it did not do anything from. Well, I shouldn't say that. It got me your mother, but magic was not.
That
cool
was a
back
rough
then.
ride from what we understand.
Yeah, it was a rough ride. It wasn't. Yeah. Anyway,
It's a slow brew. You had to go and let that one simmer and marinate for a little while.
so he contributes his early success or his early style of magic as far as like the telly story, the storytelling. He attended Camp Harmony, and they played a game where they would search for their guide who had been kidnapped by Indians. And so it was just a game, but he loved it. He was really living it. And then as a teenager, he became fascinated with Broadway, and apparently he used to break into shows and sneak in to watch them, which I'd like to hear how he actually was able to do that.
Because he's a magician.
And by age 16, he was teaching a course in magic at New York University. Now, I don't think that was like being a professor at New York University teaching magic. They probably offered some sort of a magic class and hired him to go in and teach it as a extracurriculum kind of thing. So he was going to go to college. And at age 18, he enrolled in New York City's Jesuit-based Fordham University. And only 3 weeks into his freshman year, he left to play Magic Man in Chicago. And it was Magic Man that really launched his career.
Okay. Because I was going to say, I thought he was an actor. I had no idea he was a ventriloquist.
Yeah. So
I do notice that those two do go hand in hand.
They kind of do. Yeah.
You actually even
a lot of people think if you're if you're a ventriloquist, you're also a magician, which is not necessarily true.
Not necessarily true, but I haven't seen a ventriloquist who has proven me wrong yet. Even Jeff Dunham is a magician.
He does magic?
He does magic. He opened up the show that I saw him do in Oxnard.
Really?
With a magic trick. And his puppet Walter did it.
Oh. I don't remember that one.
There was some explicit parts to it, but because Walter swears a lot. But that was really funny. And yeah, actually, I think what he did, he goes and he talks about how doing magic shows and doing the ventriloquism is how he paid for, or actually, no, it was the other way around. He got his pilot license, which then paid for his magic and his ventriloquism. Until now, he's one of the highest paid comedians in the world. Just period.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
All from playing with dolls.
Yeah, I guess I could see that.
So he's made millions of dollars.
Yeah. I could definitely see
from
that.
Playing with dolls and magic.
So anyways,
and David Copperfield is now the highest paid magician in the world.
David Copperfield is the richest magician in the world.
Magician?
Yes. He is valued over $1 billion.
All from playing with his magic.
Yes. So in Magic Man, he sang, he danced, and he created most of his original illusions.
I was gonna say, I saw him. This was recently, or in the recent years, but I've seen him do some dances, and it looks very. He was doing. It was I think it was the trick with the ribbons, and you had to go and have an assistant or a spectator go and be blindfolded and walk into this barrier and find a ribbon and grab it, and it was all to make a selection happen. You don't remember that?
No.
We took my wife to Vegas for for her first time. Wasn't for her 21st, but it was for the first time on, I think, like 23.
Oh yeah.
And
Okay.
that was part of the show. And she
Okay.
got called up. Actually, it was she got called up to do the show, and she was asked by the I think an usher.
Yeah.
Said, Mr. Copperfield would very much appreciate it if you would please go up on the stage for when he calls you up. I'm like, do you really have to beg? It's going up on stage with David Copperfield.
Yeah, I know.
Seriously. It's like the way he's doing it, like, dude.
So for Copperfield,
Yeah.
I would say his official start was from landing the role of the Magic Man in Chicago.
From what it sounds like.
That led
He's-
him
it's
to
like he's claimed at least.
yeah, that led him at age 19. He had his first Magic of David Copperfield show at the Pagoda Hotel in Honolulu, Hawaii. And then in 1977, he did his first ABC special. It was called The Magic of ABC, hosted by Copperfield.
Okay, so he has a TV special.
Oh, he had a TV special from 1978 to 2001. It was The Magic of David Copperfield on CBS.
Okay.
So he did ABC in 77, and then in 78 to 2001, CBS picked him up. And one of the things that I remember as a kid watching those specials, and I would just, I would be sitting there. It was like waiting for Christmas to get here. So it's like, oh, the specials. And so we would go and we would watch it. And then I remember thinking, oh, it's all over. And now I have to wait one more year for his next special. Oh my gosh, what's he going to do? And because he always did something grand.
Yeah.
What do you think probably the most famous trick he is known for?
Gosh, if I want to say the one that I know about is it's either going to be getting lit on fire or going to be the Statue of Liberty vanish.
The vanishing of the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
So, okay. Next up.
And we're still waiting on the moon. It's like Christmas again because we're waiting for him to vanish the moon.
Yeah, I guess that's true. So next up is Lance Burton.
Okay.
So he started magic when he was 5. And
does he have to go and show up everybody? Everyone else is what, 9,
well,
maybe 12 at the latest.
He became interested in magic at age 5 when he became a volunteer at a magic show, magician Harry Collins. And it was Miser's Dream that he ended up doing.
That's a good trick to get interested in.
Yep. So that's what fascinated him with magic.
So he pulled a coin out of his ear, probably one out of his elbow, one from out of his nose, I'm sure.
Definitely out of the ear. So when Burton's neighbor realized that he was fascinated with magic, he actually gave him a book, Magic Made Easy.
So you've never seen the one out of the nose? Everybody does that one. They bring up the pot and they say, okay, blow. And then so all the coins go and flow out into the bucket. That's one of the best moves.
We're on to Magic Made Easy now, the book.
Okay.
Miser Dreams is over. That's done.
Actually, do we have the Magic Made Easy?
I believe we do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe we do.
Very nice.
So Collins, who was a full-time magician, and he was the first magician that Burton saw, but he also became Lance Burton's mentor.
Really?
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. Another mentor of Lance Burton was Channing Pollock. And that was what influenced Burton's card manipulation and the use of doves. So in 1977, Lance entered into his first competition and he won first prize. He was awarded the Gold Medal of Excellence from the International Brotherhood of Magicians.
Very nice.
So
from what I did hear, he is a phenomenal manipulator.
Yes. He moved to Southern California.
Real quick question. What did he do you remember what he did as far as manipulations? Was it just cards and doves, or did it go into a lot of the other stuff?
I'm not sure. I know it's probably cards, coins, that kind of stuff. So when he moved to Southern California in 1980, he actually got to appear on The Tonight Show in 1981. So that probably is what kind of started to launch him a little bit. So he appeared on with Johnny Carson.
Yeah.
And
back in probably what would you say, your day and the maybe a tad bit older, that's what people would do in order to get some stardom, right? They go on the Carson show.
Well, yeah, nowadays it's go on to AGT, but back then it was get onto a talk show or Carson show. He appeared 10 more times with Jay Leno when Jay Leno was hosting the Tonight Show.
That was a good show.
So he initially, back in I think it was when was this? So he did a performance, an 8-week trial at the Follies show in Las Vegas. And then it extended his contract. So originally he was doing an 8-week trial, but they extended his contract for 9 years. So Lance Burton
at the Mirage in Vegas.
No,
he
was at the Monte Carlo.
The Monte Carlo.
Yeah.
So that was his residency.
Yes. So in 1982 he won FISM. So the Grand Prix prize of Magic. So he was the youngest person to ever win the main event and the first American.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So
that's good.
Yep. He was briefly married to another magician, Belinda Sachs, and but they didn't last very long. And then in August of 94, Burton signed on to the Monte Carlo Resort Hotel. It was built specifically for him at a cost of $27 million. And it was the #1 family magic act during his 13-year run. He earned an estimated $110 million. Nice. So I would have to say that a couple things happened for him. One, he won the Gold Medal of Excellence from the IBM, which probably helped lead him into the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, which then probably helped launch him into his career as far as getting into Vegas. The other thing that probably helped launch him was his winning of the FISM.
So it sounds like step one was the first one you were talking about,
the gold medal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because that got people to recognize him on a corporate level.
Now, when he was in Vegas at the Monte Carlo, his opening act at Monte Carlo was the act that he performed at FISM.
Nice.
So
he's consistent. I like that.
Yes, he is.
Consistency is good.
Let's move on to Criss Angel.
Okay. So Criss Angel showed up a multitude of times on TV and even on just internet sources all over the place.
Yes,
because he's done shows that are beyond his Mind Freak show.
He has, yes.
Yeah, so he's got, because little do people know, he's not just a bizarre weirdo who does dark magic. He's actually a really good magician that can stem into a whole field of different things. But he's made, from what I remember, he made his notoriety on the Mind Freak show.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly how that came about.
The Mind Freak show?
Yeah, but he was recognized as so that was his first appearance on TV was 1994 with a part in Secrets. It was a 1-hour ABC primetime special. He had a supporter. It was a horror director, Clive Barker. And so in 1995, Criss worked with him on Lords of Illusions. So it kind of sounds like he kind of worked his way in One, by his unique style.
Yeah.
So Chris said that when he was a younger magician, he always stayed away from magicians when he was younger because he didn't want to think like them. He wanted to create his own style.
Okay.
And so he never really hung around with magicians so that it would influence what his style was. I think Chris is one of those guys that has, a style that you either like it or you don't.
Yeah.
And
it does play a lot with, at least aesthetically speaking, it's very bizarre.
Yeah,
It's a bizarre type of.
It's almost like
stuff.
heavy metal music.
Yeah.
There are some people that are just like totally into heavy metal, and there are people like, oh my gosh, turn that stuff off.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would say Chris is probably the heavy metal magician of magic.
Because it's I'll be honest. My apologies. I haven't actually done a whole lot of looking into Chris's stuff. But is he, if you've gone and seen, I know you've seen him a couple of times. Is it a lot like Dan Sperry? Do you know who Dan Sperry is?
Yes, I know who Dan Sperry is. I like Dan. I tried to get Dan Sperry at our magic. So Dan Sperry, I think, is it's kind of, Dan Sperry is kind of like, depending on what version of Dan Sperry you get.
Yeah,
he's kind of like Wildcat Jackson.
Kind of, yeah.
It's sideshow kind of.
It's
geeky stuff.
It can. I noticed that, but it's very bizarre magic.
Yes,
it's the bizarre realm.
He's got definitely.
And it's actually, I've noticed. Sorry, it's very traditional. Some of the things that I've seen him do.
Oh, he's got an amazing dove act.
Oh yeah, but you agree it's very traditional magic, but it's got that bizarre geek magic flair to it.
Yeah, so here's one of the things. Like, I know a lot of people are very critical of some of these magicians and stuff like that, and they pick on it and whatnot.
Yeah,
but the thing is they're doing it.
Yeah, they found an audience.
Yeah, and they're successful, and they're making money, and they're doing something that the majority of us wish we could be doing. So I try not to be super critical of like Criss Angel is definitely not my style.
Not your cup of tea?
No. But at the same time, he's making millions of dollars doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
And I'm in Santa Paula. So
don't underplay yourself.
Well, no, I'm not going to underplay myself. But the fact is that he's obviously, he's figured out his niche. He's got a brand, and he's successful at doing it. Now, when he started doing Criss Angel Mind Freak on television, that kind of led him into getting into the whole Las Vegas Luxor and doing his show there with Cirque du Soleil.
Now, was that his Vegas show? Was the Cirque du Soleil show, or did he have a show before that?
He did some shows before that.
Right. I know he had, at least from what I remember, the first time I heard of him being in Vegas, he had a residency at the Luxor, and he's kind of hopped around to different casinos and different hotels since then, because he went to, what was it, Circus, and then that's actually the first time I heard the Cirque du Soleil show was in Circus.
No, I don't think so. It was always the Luxor.
The Luxor? Okay.
Yeah. And right now, Criss Angel is at Planet Hollywood. So here's the thing. So Criss Angel with the Luxor, he tried to do, I don't know. They tried to create something with his bizarre magic and Cirque du Soleil.
The dancing and such.
And the two didn't really meld.
Yeah.
And so the show didn't get a lot of great reviews. I went to go see the show. I wasn't all that. In fact, I remember leaving the show going, where was Cirque du Soleil? There was a few people doing somersaults and acrobats, but it wasn't like Cirque du Soleil.
So the blending wasn't as strong as it could have been.
No, I don't think so. And so basically one of the reviews was the opinion that neither Angel nor Cirque du Soleil were able to perform to their capabilities during these initial performances. So Believe got canceled, and on the last show, which was April 2009, Angel ended up this wasn't his last show, but he ended a performance of Believe by hurling obscene insults at a blogger, Perez Hilton, an audience member. He was an audience member. Okay, so I get it. So Perez Hilton, who is a blogger, he was in the audience, and while he was in the audience, he had posted that the show was unbelievably bad. And that he'd rather be getting a root canal.
Well, now that's a little much.
I know. So Angel started hurling obscene insults to him because he had heard it before the show. And at that point, Cirque du Soleil later apologized to Hilton for Angel's remarks. And I think that kind of is where the relationship severed.
I'm sure. That's getting a root canal. Huh.
Yeah. But I think Chris Angel is doing fairly well at Planet Hollywood because he's being Chris Angel.
Okay, good. So it's just him in this show, not trying to combine a bunch of other stuff.
It's Chris Angel. And I think with that, you know, if you have a flavor for Chris Angel, then you're seeing Chris Angel.
Now, is that his Mind Freak show?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That I know that, like I said, was his big stardom. It was his notoriety or what got him his notoriety was the Mind Freak.
Right. So now Matt Franco.
I said, heard of him?
Yes, I should have heard of him.
He
was
the first guy to actually win AGT with a magic act.
So he was the first.
He was the
Shin Lim.
first one. Shin Lim's the first guy to win it twice.
Yeah.
Matt Franco was the first.
So Franco,
no other magician ever in history has won AGT because Simon Cowell notoriously hates magic.
Yes. So Matt Franco saw a magic show when he was 4 years old on TV, and he begged his parents to get him a magic set, and he started performing for his kindergarten class. Nice. He credits his grandmother as being his greatest influence in magic because his mother worked a lot, so his grandma had always stepped in and kind of watched him perform his tricks, and it sounds like his grandma was kind of the his biggest cheerleader
and biggest fan.
Yeah.
Isn't that always how it goes? Are you starting to say that your grandmother wasn't your biggest fan? I knew Graham. Graham loved you.
Yes, she did.
I'm sure she watched all your magic tricks, no matter how bad they.
No, I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so. I don't know.
So
we only saw him twice
grandma.
a year, or once a year, maybe, because they lived in a different state. But
so grandma was your biggest fan.
Your grandma.
Yes.
Yes, my mom.
Graham and then grandma.
Yes, my mom was my biggest fan.
Yes.
So Franco, when he was 12, actually saved up enough money to be able to fly to Vegas to go to Jeff McBride's to study under Jeff McBride.
What a teacher to have.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked to Jeff, and he's a really cool dude. Very, very knowledgeable. I mean, it's to learn from anybody, especially doing any type of manipulation. That's the place to go.
So,
are you insulted?
No, I'm not insulted. I agree with you. Jeff is very much a purist.
Yes, he is.
And so anything you learn from Jeff is going to be about you creating the magic, not letting something else create it for you.
Yeah.
And so Franco, by the way, was the captain of his high school wrestling team.
Really?
Yes. And so he went on to University of Rhode Island, got a degree in business administration with a minor in communications. So when Matt was 15, he was invited to perform on stage at the Riviera Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. It was a show that was hosted by the Society of American Magicians called Stars of Tomorrow. He graduated from college in 2010. And he started doing college campuses. That's how he made his career, was performing a one-man show, touring around for 4 years, doing college campuses. And he was nominated for Fastest Rising Star in 2012. And in 2013, he was awarded Best College Performer. So,
So other than AGT, did he have any other TV stardoms?
doesn't look like it.
Did he have
I
any
think
TV shows.
personally, he was on the Society of American Magicians, so that would have launched him as a magician within the magicians community, the magic community. I don't think it would have launched him into huge popularity in order to land a Vegas show.
No,
I really think the AGT is what launched his career for.
Because once you
Vegas.
once you win that, you get a contract for doing a show, right?
Yeah.
Is that a Vegas show or is that a show somewhere else?
It's a Vegas show.
Okay.
One of the things that we ought to do is take a look at what does it mean to really win AGT. Because you win $1 million,
and
but
a Vegas show.
You are not paid that $1 million up front.
You're not.
No.
Oh, okay.
And I believe we're gonna no, I'm not gonna say anything. We're gonna look into it.
Okay.
And then we'll talk about what does it mean to win AGT, and we'll talk about what it does it mean to win Penn and Teller Fool Us. Not win, but to fool Penn and Teller.
Yeah, that's because I was going to say that's speaking of winning AGT, we also have another magician, I think, on the list that won AGT twice and then also fooled Penn and Teller twice.
Yes. Yeah. And that would be Shin Lim. So let's take a look at the difference of those two shows. We'll get into that. Sure. And talk about what does it mean to win. The last magician we're going to look at is Nathan Burton, which has no relationship to Lance Burton.
Just the last name.
Just the last name. And
so potentially very distant cousins, or he changed his name to Burton because he was inspired by Lance.
Probably. Yeah. No, he had the name Lance Burton. He was bitten by the magic bug at age 5, which I guess Lance was as well. And he also performed in front of his kindergarten class. Maybe this is Lance's and I just screwed it up. So although none of his tricks went as planned, he was hooked instantly and decided that magic is what he wanted to do for the rest of his life, which is what happened to me when I was 9. I knew that magic was what I wanted to do for the rest of my life.
Now, did you have it where none of the tricks landed while you were doing it? Because that's a very no quit personality.
Yeah, I when I look back at how I was performing when I was in my from 12 to early teens, I thought I was amazing. I thought I was a star. I used to have these posters that would print up and I would do autographs at the end of the show because
Hey, that's a no quit personality. I like that. That's going and saying, man, I suck. That's not saying that. That's saying I'm the best thing since sliced bread. Here's a photo. Keep it. It's going to be worth something one day.
Yeah, it's still not. But maybe
you
someday.
said someday.
Yes.
Exactly. That someday hasn't come yet.
When
that's
I'm president.
What? When you're no, that's you want to go up in the world.
No, we're doing a or we're not doing a magic. We're doing a special podcast, a 6-part series of when I am president. And it's going to be all of the policies that I'm going to enact when I'm president.
Yes, but I'm saying I wanted to imagine bigger things for you.
But that's when my signature would be worth something.
When you're president?
Yeah.
So you're going down the rung, and then people are going to be interested in you instead of going up the ladder.
Yeah. So
okay. Notice how I said being president was a lower rung. Don't want to be political.
I get you. So now the one thing that I'm not sure about is how Nathan got recognized.
I didn't find a whole lot about him. I just saw that he had a a show actually in Vegas, right? Was
Yeah, he's at the Aladdin Hotel. He's at a he does an afternoon show.
Okay, I was gonna say now is that a residency?
Oh, he started. I'm sorry, he started at the Aladdin Hotel, and then he moved to the Flamingo showroom in 2008, where he shared a stage with Donnie and Marie Osmond. So,
so not a residency, but he's got a regular gig.
Yeah, now he's at Planet Hollywood, and it's an afternoon show.
Mm-hmm.
So he's at the same show as Chris Angel, but he performs in the afternoon. So, for most of these people, I think nowadays people get launched because of AGT or Penn and Teller or things of that nature.
Yeah.
Penn
and Teller being probably the biggest one.
Right. And I think it all boils down to that these people just made themselves stand out.
Yeah. You got screen time, really. Even I know we're going to explore AGT a little further later, but even with Penn and Teller, it's not necessarily fooling them that gets you the notoriety.
No.
It's just being up on that stage. And we even talked about it before where Penn and Teller, they've got a really good show because they're not in it to make you look stupid. They're in it to make you look really good.
Yeah. Their goal is not to make you look dumb. And there are
AGT maybe is more or less they want you to look stupid because it's funnier.
Yeah.
I don't know if Simon's still like that, but
I think he's changed quite a bit. And I think it's because I believe it's because he said he had kids, and he knows how he'd feel if somebody said something about his kids.
Having children changes you.
It does. So your camera froze.
Oh, cool.
And with a very weird look on your eyes, which is scaring me. So
I look very disinterested.
You do. You look like you fell asleep.
And I'm talking with perfect sentence usually.
So let me see what that's all about. Yeah, you're like totally
cool.
Hosed.
Whatever, you can still hear me, right?
We can still hear you. All right, I got you back. I wonder how long you were
I was looking
comatose.
Looking doped out.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of ventriloquism. I was able to talk perfect sentences while not moving my mouth. Okay, now you're just you're not saying anything. But the difference between that is I was able to speak and look like that.
That's true.
And you didn't speak.
Wow. Look at you. So anyways, those are kind of how people got their start. When we talk about headliners as magicians, when we talk about headliners, we think of people like Arthur Trace, Dan Birch, Sperry.
Mm-hmm.
We think of Ron Saylor. We think of, some of these bigger name magicians. But Mondre.
Yeah.
But they are headliners to us. They are not headliners into the real world.
So the common folk.
Yeah, like if you ask somebody who is a headliner, a layperson, they're going to say David Copperfield, Penn and Teller, maybe Chris Angel,
the
maybe,
household names.
Yeah, they're going to be able to rattle off. Like people will know. Oh, David Blaine. Yeah, definitely Copperfield. Definitely Penn and Teller. Some people might know Matt King. Some people might know Shin Lim
or Piff.
But for the most part, it's like David, Chris Angel, and Copperfield, and Penn and Teller are probably the most notable.
Yeah.
And so when you hire people to perform, like when we hire magicians to perform, in our mind, we're getting headliners to come in. Reality is we're not getting Copperfield. We're not getting Penn and Teller. We're not getting Chris Angel. So to the lay audience, most people are going to go, oh, these guys are okay. I don't know who they are. So I don't really care.
I was going to say, if we were going to say if we were going to put an audience to it, what type of audience are we talking about? Like you said,
Well,
the lay audience?
Yeah,
or the
like when we
magician
do our
audience and
mashup
such?
shows and we try to get some of the bigger names in Magic to perform at the mashup show.
Yeah.
To the people coming in, the name's not really going to matter. It's not going to mean anything to them because they're like, I don't know who these people are. Even though they're big to us, they're not necessarily big to a lay audience.
Yes.
Unless we brought in a Copperfield or a Penn and Teller. And then at that point, we're bringing in people because of the names.
Yeah.
I don't think when you're performing a magic show and you bring in like an Arthur Trace or somebody like that, that you're necessarily going to bring an audience in because of the name.
And not to say they don't have a name, it's just not.
No, they do. They have
for the broader lay audience.
Right. They have to us in our world, they have a huge name.
I'm sure they've got well, I mean, people like Arthur Trace and Ron Saylor and everything like that. In certain communities, I know they've got a very well-known name.
Like they probably have a huge following. I mean, thousands of followers.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like it's in an audience in a pocket that you can go and say, hey, yeah, these guys are known.
Right.
It's not like you were talking about with Penn and Teller or David Copperfield, where it's worldwide. They're just known.
Yeah. Like if you advertise Copperfield is coming to Magic Mashup, people are going to be coming because Copperfield is going to be in Magic Mashup.
Yeah, we have to get a stadium.
Yeah. If we say
an amphitheater in order to fill that.
If we say some of the names that are big to us are coming to Magic Mashup, people are coming because they want to see magic.
Yeah.
So,
and it, in that sense, we're helping expand somebody's notoriety because they're being introduced to a brand new audience.
Yeah. Now, if you are, one of the ones that are on TV and things of that nature, and having specials like Chris Angel did and Copperfield did and Penn and Teller did, then obviously you're going to become a household name. Yeah.
I was going to say Millman again. I'm like, no, stop.
Willman, yes.
Willman.
So obviously
people know that because he's on Netflix.
You're going to have a household name.
Yeah.
So, all right, we are out of time, Josh, and I know you really wanted to do your special. So why don't we talk about what some of the new releases are that are coming out, and we'll end with that.
Sounds good. We'll get to the cards later.
Yeah. So
notice how I'm maturing because I'm not going and pouting over the fact that you're not letting me play with my cards.
I'm actually quite shocked, to be honest with you. So.
I have to be a better example for my son.
Okay.
That's another thing that changes you as an adult when you have children. You have to grow up. You can't be a little kid anymore. You have to be a big kid. I'll be honest, there's no adults. There's just bigger kids.
Yeah.
In the world.
There are some adults. There's some people that
that's
lost the kid inside of them.
My grandparents. When I think of an adult, I think of my grandparents.
I had a very interesting conversation. I was at the castle on Thursday, and there was a magician there, and we were talking at the Vernon table with a couple other magicians. And he said, when you're born, everything is magical.
Oh yeah, everything's new. I'm seeing that now.
Like a butterfly is magical.
A soda bottle.
On a tea. Yeah. I mean, everything is magical because you're seeing it for the first time.
Yeah.
But did you ever notice, like with your son, there are things that they just have natural. See, you froze again. What the heck is going on? Now
that's at least a better face.
Yeah, now you're doing ooh, look at me.
That's at least a happier face.
I'm fabulous.
Ignore me. Tell me what was happening.
So anyways, with I'm not sure why it keeps doing that, but well, you're gonna be the blank known as Joshua. So ooh, now I'm frozen.
You're telling me
it's like I have a split personality.
You're telling me about my son.
I know.
I'm losing focus here.
Okay. So anyways, for kids, everything is magical, for babies and stuff like that. And then they grow up and they learn, that you kind of lose the magic in it. And as adults, it's sometimes very difficult to get back to that place of things being magical, which with magic, it's not so much about the trick and I'm fooling you. It's about suspending your disbelief and going back to that place of where it was magical.
Yeah. It's not, haha, I fooled you. It's, oh my God, that was impossible.
Yeah.
How did you do that?
That was magical.
Yeah.
So, all right, what do we have coming in?
What do we have coming in? Well, the very first thing I would like to talk about is actually something from Masika. This is actually called Ring Flight from Masika. I don't know if you can pull that up.
I cannot.
Okay, well, it is a...
and by the way, we have another Brad Clark who we have not heard or seen from in a very long time. And he says he's always a kid.
Always a kid.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm talking about. There's no adults anymore. There's just big kids.
I don't know why he says yikes if he's scared about the fact that he's always a kid.
Maybe he's just coming to the realization or the acknowledgement
oh my God, I'm still
I've never
a kid.
grown up.
Oh, that could be. So Ring Flight with Masika.
Yes. Now we've had a couple of these style of tricks where it's in essence a reel, but it is going to your keychain.
Okay.
It's this is a version from Masika where it's not a pre-designed key fob, because I've seen the ones we had in the shop before. It had a prefabricated key fob, so it's not like your regular car keys or anything like that. So which looked a little weird, but this one is just a clip.
Okay.
That you can attach to your regular keys. So you have like my car keys. I could put it on my car keys, and then have a borrowed ring vanish and appear on my my key fob, which is on this clip. Actually, the video
that is that right there.
Yeah, the video that I saw that they have with it is actually that he has the ring and he gives somebody the keys to hold on to. He makes the ring vanish, or he goes and he puts the ring in one of his hands and he says, which hand do you think the ring is in? And they say the right hand. And he said, the right hand? And he opens up his right hand and it's gone. And he says, oh, wait, that's the wrong right hand. And then the person who's holding on to the keys has the keys in their right hand. They open it up and there's the ring.
Okay.
So it's a really cool looking, what would you call that? A ring flight.
So this is going to sell for $75.
And right now, unfortunately, they are working on a accurate ETA for the release of the trick.
Yes.
Though it is for pre-sale.
Okay.
And they're also working on a restock because it was so popular it went out. Story of our life.
Yes.
And the next one that we have is
I'm on digital.
Digital. Okay, you can go to digital because that's new.
Okay.
Must have just happened.
And so digital, it's a prediction inside an envelope is placed on the table from a regular deck of playing cards. Let's say the spectator chooses the 4 of hearts. That's turning out to be a pretty popular card. The card is returned to the deck and the deck is given a shuffle. The top card of the deck is turned over and it's the 6 of spades. This card is placed into the spectator's hand as you claim you knew that they would select the 6 of spades as it matches your prediction. The prediction has been removed and the card shows written across in big bold black ink the 6 of spades. The spectator claims they selected the 4 of hearts. This is no problem. The prediction is given a slow shake and the words visibly change to the 4 of hearts. They are now instructed to look at the card they are holding, and this too has now changed to the 4 of hearts.
That's a really nice way to go and add on to that that type of effect.
Yeah.
I mean, most magicians, I think, would understand what that is. Having the card on the top of the deck, you flip it over. It's not the right card. You flip it back over. You give them the card, and it changes in their hand. But that's a nice add-on to it. It's a
It is a
really
nice
cool
add-on.
visual add-on.
So here is
My prediction is always correct. I am never wrong. That is a digital printed prediction. Now I'm gonna have you pick any card at all that you want. So as I dribble them through, just say the word stop. Stop. Right there, take a look at the card. Do not forget it. And like I mentioned, my prediction is technically always correct. We're gonna just give the cards a couple little cuts, but I don't have to find your card. All I have to do is snap my fingers and immediately the 6 of spades comes to the top. And like I said, my prediction
he does
is
the move
always
like you
correct.
do it.
Here, if we take a look, there it is, the 6 of spades.
Oh, with the side.
That's not my card.
No, what? That's not your card? What was your card?
4 hearts.
I'm always right. Check it out. Look, just give it a tiny little shake like this, and instantly the 6 of spades turns into the 4 of hearts. And if you just snap right over that 6 of spades, it turns into your card.
All right, that's that looks interesting.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely stock that. That is
So he does the move like I do.
yeah, the way he was doing the turning of the card. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that's going to be released in 3 days on April 9th. So that
Very
looks
nice.
pretty cool.
How much was that again?
$30.
$30. I actually want to carry that one. That one looked pretty good.
Yeah, that looks
It
definitely
looks like
pretty
a
neat.
Murphy's production too, because of the actually the on the video that was Javier Fleming.
Yeah. And it's a Mark Mason and
Ah.
a beer.
I like Mark Mason.
So
And the one other one that we had. Do you have more?
are you familiar with Money Money?
I am not.
Okay.
Actually, what's this?
So
one?
Money Money is also going to be released on April 9th. And the effect, you explained to the spectator that your last trip to Las Vegas was truly amazing. And it was lucky. Take a deck of cards and explain that over the evening you played blackjack. Then take 2 cards from the deck to explain in your words, and above all to explain to the spectator that these 2 cards you won make spectators relive the memory. Blah. Okay. Hold the 2 cards in front of the spectator, and without any suspicious moves or manipulation, the 2 cards change into dollars.
Okay. So
let's
let's
take
money
a-
production.
Yeah, let's
Gonna set my soul on fire. Got a whole lot of money that's ready to burn. So get those
all right, let's watch that
stakes
move one more
up.
time.
Gonna set my soul on fire. Got a whole lot of money that's ready to burn. So get those stakes up higher. There's 1,000 pretty women waiting out there. They're all living.
All right, so that's basically that one.
That's a nice.
That's also
little
going to be
gimmick.
selling for $30.
And we have. Is that the last that you saw?
Yes.
Oh, really? Huh.
Well, you have the book, but
Yes. The book is the last one. Is the book called The Proposition. Now, this is a book that is talking about the integrations of magic and what they call a new budding industry of cannabis.
ah,
A new budding industry.
yes,
You're not. Okay.
I'm with you. So that book's
But-
going to sell for $40, and it's going to be released in 20 days or 14 days on April 20th.
2020.
Yes,
Or no, actually 420.
420. There is another one, by the way.
There is another one. Okay.
Yes.
So yeah, this
Uh,
one it talks about classics in magic and how you can do those same things with the cannabis as part of the show itself. Like you got a sponge balls or coin magic or anything, but it's with different elements of cannabis like rope and hemp
Okay.
and whatnot.
So we're going to move on to cannabis and go on to crack.
Crack.
Yes.
Ah,
So
Nice.
We're going to move from cannabis to crack. So crack.
so we're gonna go from a mellow experience to a very hyper spastic experience.
Yes. So you're going to take a banknote, you're going to fold it lengthwise, you're going to show the 2 small plates and slide the note in between them. The note remains clearly visible since the plates have holes. Zigzag the bill in front of your spectators. So let's take a quick look at that demo. It's going to sell for $40.
So is
Okay, so
I know some of those bills are the no-tear bills. They make some bills in these foreign countries now that are you can't rip them up
really,
for whatever reason. I don't know why.
okay.
But
So that's a magic trick in its own.
we
That
know
is also going to release on 4/9. So I think our best bet is to not put our order in until 4/9.
probably. That sounds like it's now is it pre-sale?
Release date is
So
on
just has
4/9.
just has a release date, no pre-sale.
Well, it's pre-sale right now, but
Okay.
yeah, 4/9. So
Very
that's
nice.
it for the things to come. And Joshua, we still don't have you connected, so
It's okay. Stay tuned to White Rabbit Magic to see if we have any of those tricks available for you.
so Brad was a past enforcer.
A pass enforcer.
Yes,
Brad who?
Brad Clark.
Brad Clark.
Yes. And so he was just taking a look at some of these magic tricks with money, and he says, I see jail time.
Hey, they're not actually ripped up. They're just they look like they got split in half. Come on, no. They fixed it. They made it better. Is there no leniency?
Yes, they did make it better. All right. That is our show. We will see you all next week. Wow, we went long, an hour and 12 minutes.
We
will
might need to expand our show times if we're going to go and talk about all these different segments. that we
yeah,
want to.
either that or not inundate them with a lot of length or detail.
Well, then what's the fun in that?
Find the right amount of time to spend on a topic and then kill it. Get them to where they're satisfied and maybe wanting a little bit more.
But I always wanted a little bit more. We only have me to talk about here.
I know.
You're going to go and have the utmost bulleted points of everything, saying this one, this is a coin trick, that's a card trick. And that's what's happening today.
Yeah.
And I want to know more.
Anyways, thanks all for listening. We'll see you all next week. And remember, we believe in magic.
You actually said it. Way to go.
Yeah, you're not there, so you can't say it.
Okay, good.
Good.
Abracadabra, hocus pocus, presto. Pick a card, any card. Some words are magic. They sparkle with the promise of something wonderful. But they're still just words until you add that something wonderful to the mix. And that's what you'll find at the White Rabbit Magic Shop in Santa Paula. Their inventory includes world-class tricks and illusions that are not only for sale, but that they will teach you to master. In addition, White Rabbit Magic Shop is world-renowned for its amazing collection of bicycle playing cards, with nearly 500 decks in stock. So, if you're serious about magic, then say it with us. At the White Rabbit Magic Shop, we believe in magic. The White Rabbit Magic Shop, located at 15500 Telegraph Road, Suite B15 in Santa Paula. For more information, please call 805-850-3051 or check us out online at wr-magic.com. This has been a Rough Edge Studios production.